Hello and welcome to cozywaits.ke. My name is Cozy and I read and analyze Reddit stories for your entertainment. So, today I think this is a really important story, especially for my ladies, because I really want to teach you guys about red flags to look out for when you're looking for a partner, because this story was wild and seeing the men's reactions was also very, very interesting. So, let's dive into the r/Nairobi subreddit, and it says, I think my wife is being petty and selfish. She wants us to separate because of this. It's Sunday, 10:35 p.m. I'm sitting in my car, parked in my home compound. My wife and three kids are inside the house, but I'm taking some extra time out here to enjoy the peace. Here's the thing, I left home at 4 a.m. today and spent the entire day at an Airbnb about 20 kilometers away. Why? Because my wife packed her bags and threatened to leave me with the kids, 11 months, 4 years, and 6 years old. I timed my escape for when she went into the shower because I saw there was no way she was leaving me with the kids. So I beat her at her own game. Once she was in there, I bolted like a bat out of hell, found an available Airbnb and booked it for the day. I just needed some sleep and quiet. Since our day scholar domestic manager doesn't come on Sundays, she was stuck at home with the kids all day. I checked out at around 5 p.m., drove aimlessly for a while to kill time, and now I'm back home. I've been sitting here since 8:30 p.m. It's peaceful. The kids greeted me when I arrived, but they are now watching TV. How did it get to this point? She's upset because I don't always inform her when I leave the house and I tend to come back late. I'm an introvert who works from home, so I often go to cafes for work. If I have time, I take an evening walk to unwind, and in traffic or errands, like grabbing breakfast, and sometimes I come home late. She thinks this is unacceptable and disrespectful. Worse, she suspects I'm cheating. Honestly, I don't care for these accusations. I've explained myself repeatedly, and after that, I just go silent because I don't have the energy to argue. This morning, things escalated. We exchanged some harsh words, and she said she's going back home. For context, I'm responsible. I treat her and the kids well. I've even helped her build a house for her parents. She's a stay at home mom, and I supported her every step of the way. But now it feels like she's nitpicking and nagging over minor things. I mean, women, don't you care about men's sacrifices? Why be so selfish that you can jeopardize the children's future just to suit your emotions? What do? I will give an update. Walolo mayo. So, just off the bat, you can clearly tell that this man, he doesn't care about his wife on an emotional level at all. There are so many red flags that I'm seeing from this guy. And he's the one who wrote the story, which is very telling because if you wrote the story, you couldn't even skew the things to be in your value. But I'm sure the men will read the story and be like, it's fine. Anyways, ladies, the red flags that I'm seeing in this, and you have to watch out for them, is number one, there's a serious avoidance and evasion. Instead of this man just sitting down and communicating with his wife and telling her, hey, I don't think I can watch the kids today. Like I've had a busy week, I'm tired. Can we find a compromise on this? His compromise was let me time when my wife is showering so that I can run away from her and the kids because I cannot think of anything worse than staying at home and spending time with my family on a Sunday. That's what that's what his actions communicate to me. So, ladies, again, watch out for actions because behavior is a language as well. Okay, behavior is also a language. So tafadhali, don't just listen to what a man tells you. Watch his behavior. Red flag number two, there's a serious lack of accountability. Because this man is complaining that the wife feels like she's being disrespected when he is disrespecting her. Communication in a marriage is number one. It is not even number one, but it is the bare minimum. If you cannot just communicate with your wife, tell her, hey, I have gone to a cafe. I will be working for this amount of hours. I will be home at this time. What are you doing being married? This is another red flag to also look out for, ladies, is a man who does not have the vocabulary of we when he speaks, because he's very selfish. He's I needed a break, I needed to do this, I needed to do that, I provide, I sacrifice. He cannot remove himself from whatever he is doing to see that maybe his wife needs some assistance. Red flag number four is this dismissive attitude. Tafadhali, ladies, if you're dealing with a man and anytime you speak, do you actually feel heard? You really need to watch for that. honestly. And I've ended the relationship because of that. If I'm talking to you and I don't feel like I'm being heard, you need to be with someone who you feel completely heard with. Okay. Red flag number 4, he has so much self-pity and this entitlement of I provide. So I shouldn't be expected to do anything more than that. What do you mean spend a day with my own kids? What? Mimi tu nikae na watoto wangu wenye nilizaa na wenye nilitaka. That's the attitude he's giving me. Like, what do you mean? It's impossible for you to stay. And then also his wife communicated. She was like, hey, I'm leaving. Can you stay home with the kids? And he was like, I will not even speak to her. I'll just get up at 4 a.m. and leave. Oh, wow. The last thing the last red flag that I'm really seeing is some serious gaslighting. He's gaslighting her because when a man says, Ati, my wife is nagging over petty things, that's a serious gaslight because just because it's petty to you does not mean it's petty to your wife. To her, it means everything. To you, it seems petty, but to her, it means everything. And this is also a really important red flag because it shows how much men don't value you as a woman or your opinion or what you see. Especially this woman, like her man does not value anything that she says, doesn't value anything that she brings to the table because he provides. He feels like I should just be sitting at home doing nothing. Okay, so before I give my advice to the young ladies, let's check the comments and see what people say. So MoistBud8817 says, I think there's more underlying issues other than what you think. Maybe you're both feeling unappreciated by each other, among many others. If you're willing to try and solve things, you could suggest couples therapy before giving up all hope. If it also doesn't work, remember co-parenting is totally okay. Compatibility can shift as we grow, even in marriages. But to me, this doesn't seem like a compatibility issue. It seems like a selfish issue. It seems like he wants to do what he wants and he wants to live like a single person. But once you're married, you cannot live as a single person. You need to communicate with your partner. You need to tell them everything. You're now a team, literally. So also, if you're a man, by the way, if you don't have the vocabulary of we in your statement, don't get married. Just do you. There's also that option. There's also the option of just staying single and doing you and never having to deal with any of it at all. So most of the comments are not bad. Sufficient Wine says your problematic situation could be solved by one simple thing: communication. Be open and clear. Cut in your communication. Don't just up and leave anytime without a heads up. I mean, I'm sure you'd not appreciate the same from your partner if the roles were reversed. Let her know that as much as you're married with kids, at times you need a breath of fresh air as you mostly work from home to keep your sanity going. That cabin fever can make one go nuts. Couple cabin fever and you being an introvert, a dangerous combo, but nothing good communication can't fix. Sit her down and have a very candid discussion. Say your piece and let her know how she can support you as you go through all this. Let her do the same and then compare notes. Not bad, but me, I think maybe I might be slightly biased because, I definitely see things from a woman's perspective. But even as a man, I understand every day you're tired, you go to work and do all that. But working on a computer is completely different from dealing with children. Children need attention constantly. There is no time you don't have that child on you. Even if she has a house manager, like the day scholar, like they were saying, most of the time children will still gravitate towards their mom. Even when the house help is there, they will still be like, mommy, help me do this, help me do that. Mostly the house help will probably just be cleaning and picking after the kids, but the actual parenting, your wife is still doing that and she needs a break. And I'm sure there'll be men in the comments being like, but he's provided. Women need more than just provision. We need connection, we need intimacy, we need non-sexual affection. If it's just sexual, it ain't working. Let's read some more comments. I think she's overstimulated. You're the one that sounds selfish for not understanding her needs. She deserves better than that. That's why she's trying to live to prove a point, hoping that you will change something in you. But you are running away. How is that going to solve anything? You say she doesn't appreciate how hard you work for her and the kids, but do you appreciate how hard she works for you and the kids? I'm 100% sure her side of the story is different from yours. Maybe she wanted to leave the kids with you for a while so she can get a break, and you can see how hard it is to be a mom who never gets a break. Doesn't she deserve a nice walk and a cafe to wind down? In this post, all I see is an emotionally immature man, or boy, shall I say. Communicate, change, fight for her if you actually love her. Yeah, and also I was saying, like, this man, his vocabulary is very me. And that's not a type of vocabulary you're supposed to have, especially when you're dealing in a marriage. Most of the comments, yeah, they agree. And this is where, hey, this OP. So someone comments and says, she probably just wants to spend more time with you and and feels like you're neglecting her. The original poster comes back and replies, really? If it's stick, he nayo I deliver more than Glovo. Most of the times I leave her shaking involuntarily. At least that's what I think from my observations. So what else? I'm usually busy on my laptop, mostly so anybody would understand though. But when it's time for pipe, I focus. Wah! And here was the problem I was talking about. This person believes that all he needs to do is provide financially and lay down the pipe, and his wife should just be happy and settled. And it's unfortunate because a lot of men think like this. We'll check the comments and see. Then she comes back and replies, no, I mean having small conversations and the like, just spending time with her in general. Do you hang out with her at least? Hmm. Hey, this OP is very lost. Then he says, I try my best to. Kwanza fish ya osumo tumekula sana huko. Then someone else comes in and replies, women need emotional intimacy as well, not just physical intimacy, sex alone. She wants you guys to spend more time together, have meaningless and also thoughtful conversations. Ask her how her day was. Take her out to a nice place where both of you can enjoy each other's company, etc. The reason she thinks you are cheating is because hakuna hiyo emotional intimacy between you two. So she doesn't trust you at all. Also, try and inform her of your whereabouts and not just leaving without a word. But that's crazy. And also, someone else comes in here and comments, think deep, it's not the stick. Someone else comments, this person is dumb AF. I think he should actually be divorced. Most of the comments here agree, they're just calling him out. The women are telling him you're not really doing what you're supposed to be doing. And most of the comments at the top were fine. But once we started to enter the below, is when you really saw the men come in to open up the portal of what they actually think. But I really think it's important to actually read how some men actually think, so that at least as a woman you can go out there and navigate knowing these things. This one says, Salvata, now we are getting into the men's comment, says, Mwizi hujishuku. If she's out here suspecting you're cheating, then she's either already doing it or on the way to doing it. You could always ask either her mom to talk to her or simply gather evidence and boot the BITCH. Oh my God. This might cause issues for the kids though, so be very careful making that move. Evidence is necessary, however, helps with any further issues. Also, her friends probably very envious dipshits playing a game of suggest he's cheating. Note that I generally dislike adults who behave like children. Ergo, I dislike tabia ya bibi yako. Oh my God, bottom line, this is one of those annoying situations where you try your best and your companion shows no appreciation. Handling that depends on whether you're vindictive or tolerant. Whoa! So clearly, this is one of those men who is still into that old mindset of I've provided financially, I'm laying down the pipe, there's nothing else I need to be doing. We don't need to go on dates, we don't need to talk, I don't need to give her any type of non sexual attention. And this also shows, like, for the ladies, be very careful because this is what we mean by misogynistic men, where instead of treating a woman like a complete human being who has needs and has to be catered to, men just view women as objects. As long as nimempatia chakula and I'm piping her down, there's nothing more this woman needs, and that is viewing a person as an object. Of course, there's more things that she needs, and everyone is an individual. Just because there are some women who are okay being provided for does not mean every woman is like that. There are some women who you need to provide for us emotionally, physically, spiritually, and if you cannot do that, stay out of the market. It's not just a physical provision. A local stand says, damn, marriage is hard in 2024. If someone is suspecting you of cheating and is super paranoid, they are likely to be the ones cheating. Yep. So we are really getting into what the men actually think. So here, broad stand says there are a couple of things just by reading you have failed as a man. One, when a woman threatens to leave you, call her bluff. Let her go with the children to where she wants to go. Oh my God. Do not beg. Do not show that you are fazed. Do not show any emotion. Two, a simple call/text would help her be at ease. But with 3 kids and a couple of years later, I believe you should have studied I believe she should have studied you by now. Oh my god. Lastly, this I timed my escape for when she went into the shower because I saw there was no way she was leaving me with kids. So I beat her at her own game. This is childish. Why would you want to run away when she ain't looking? Running away and hiding. Why? You have lost your balls. You have lost your frame. My advice, no amount of money in this world will buy you frame, respect, and boldness. Grab your balls, go to her, look her into the eyes, and talk to her with a calm but stern voice. What you want and what you expect. Be a man for once. Lastly, some women just need to be drilled properly. Oh my god. Ay, 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 ay. Again, disappointing. I strongly believe you haven't prepped her good in a long time. Just drill her good and watch her make sandwiches by tomorrow morning. Now you see, this is another person who just objectifies a woman. Now he thinks that, oh, I should just give her sex. Why? Problems, I tell you. And this is one of the posts that really shows the deterioration between men and women and how differently we actually think and take situations. And it's clear to see why the divorce rates are so high and why people are not interested in marriage, because what is this? Anyways, Healthy Guava 454 says, just my opinion bit, there might be a chance that she's cheating or wants to cheat or is tired of you and has found someone new. Because why would a person who is well catered for want to leave the marriage, not caring about the kids' well-being? Trust me, mate, it's more than what she claims it is. Oh my god. The best advice I can give you is to let her do what she feels is right, as long as your conscience is okay. If you are truly not guilty, then let her be, man. Man, you cannot convince someone to love you back. That is a decision someone makes on their own. Just make sure your kids are well provided for wherever they will be and continue living your life. This life will always be about you, so do you. Hey! And ladies, that's how men think. By the way, this is how self-centered and selfish some men's view is. Some men, not all men. Of course, there's some good men who commented in here and been like, sir, you're on the wrong. But majority of the men, this is what they actually think. Someone else says, I understand, sir. Most women are normally that way. Even after being provided for, they do such nonsense. This is why most guys tend to just be single. Now I understand why some men stay outside for long lotia or drive, as you just said, to exhaust time. And this is the issue. Instead of these men actually putting in effort into the relationship to understand, okay, ni nini mbaya, or why is this woman complaining? Their thought process is just, I've provided. You should be happy. Yo, hey. Look at the comments. Actually, to be honest, I suspect she's cheating. These are now the men's comments. And then Wine So Fine says, why are you afraid of your wife? Because why would you find peace in a car? Isn't that your home/house? You need to have a one-on-one with your wife going forward, because this sneaking thing isn't going to help. Have a mutual agreement with her. If she leaves, she leaves. If she stays, great. Who's going to have custody of the children? It will be even better when they're with you, since you work from home. Practice your patriarchal role as the head of the family. Now, me, I don't even. This really shows that these men probably haven't even read that post, because the reason he left is because he didn't want to be left alone with his kids. So, what makes you think he would even be capable of taking care of them? You know, some of delusional, and it's really crazy how men say that women are emotional. Do you seriously think a woman would wake up one day with 3 kids and a husband and just decide to leave the marriage because she's being emotional? I guarantee you there's a lot more going on than just that. But so many men think that women are just ruled by emotions, and they forget that their emotions are also something. The fact that he's dismissing her, he doesn't. Anyways, the comments are pretty terrible, especially these ones below. Most of them are just saying that she's cheating, or she's found someone else, or she's just being emotional. That's what the men are saying. But the women are the ones at the top who are like, hey, something is really going wrong here. But let me give now my advice for the ladies. When you're dating, tafadhali, look out for emotional maturity in your men. Because an emotionally mature man, if he has an issue or if something is happening, he doesn't run away. He deals with it head on. He'll come, he'll sit you down and say, this is what is happening, this is what I'm feeling, this is what you did that I didn't like. You need a person who is open and communicative. So look out for a person who is emotionally mature. Tafadhali wanawake. These are red flags you need to make sure you look out for. Number 2, evaluate your man's communication style. How does he communicate? Because clearly, this man does not communicate at all. So you need to see, how does this person communicate on a daily basis? Is he open? Does he tell you what's actually going on in his mind? Does he talk to you? Ama, whenever you want to talk about something, does he shut you down? Does he make you feel like what you're saying is not important? Those are really important things to watch out for. They might be small, but they're important. Number 3, watch out for a dismissive and a blame shifting type of partner. A partner who anytime you bring something up is like nijue wewe hukufanya ama nijue wewe hukufanya hivi na hivi ama me I've done this and I don't care about whatever you're saying, you know. Also tafadhali, I don't know how many times I will say this in my videos, behavior is a language. If your man is telling you one thing and doing a different thing, tafadhali, his actions speak louder than words. Just take it as face value as it is and leave mapema before you get trapped in this kind of situations. Number 4, be aware of the emotional distance and withdrawal. How does he handle it when you guys are talking about emotions? Can he sit down and actually listen to you, and can you actually have a productive conversation, or does he leave? Because red flags like this are what probably this woman ignored, and now she's in a marriage where she's unhappy. So tafadhali, does he withdraw? Can you guys actually sit down and have that conversation head on and tackle it? Number 5, do not ignore red flags about respect and equality. Okay? If your man is of the thought process of, as a man, I should be the provider, as a woman, you are the caretaker, unless that is something that you subscribe to and you have accepted within yourself as a woman, do not ignore those red flags. Okay? If a man only feels that his only job should be providing and everything else should be on you, you need to take that as it is. And you also need to sit down with that reality. You know, go home, talk to your mom, ask her how the heck did she survive. You know, for some of us, our mothers were very honest with us and candid. And that's why we don't want the marriages that we are seeing today. You know, a lot of men are usually asking themselves, you know, why is this that women nowadays, they're not like our mothers? It's because we saw what our mothers went through. And we don't envy them. And we don't want that life. So when you see a girl has chosen the corporate body lifestyle, and a lot of men will degrade her and say, oh, she'll be lonely by the time she's 40 or 50, she'll be lonely. Some men don't understand that some women know what is ahead and have made that sacrifice for the fact of we value our freedom, or we value our independence, or we value our choice. You know, if I'm making money, I can choose to stay or not. You know? So sometimes when you see these corporate bodies, don't think that they don't know what they have chosen for themselves. Some women are very aware, but they be very aware as a woman. Choose the life that you're going to choose. Okay? If you want to be Miss Independent, choose that life, but know that there are pros and cons. If you want to be a wife, choose that life, but know that there are pros and cons to everything. The last thing I think you should check for is recognize his responsibility and stability. Okay? A man who is responsible and a man who is stable understands what it means to have a wife. He understands that he has to communicate with his wife. He understands that I've been married, I've made vows. Now life is not about me. It's about us. And it's not about me versus her. It's about us versus the problem. I think that's also another thing that a lot of men don't seem to understand, because they try and conquer women. You know, they don't see women as teammates. They see women as something to conquer, someone to get to submit and to just listen to everything that he says. But nowadays, women want partnership. We want to be able to, you know, there's no person in any type of world who just sits down and lets decisions be made for them about their lives anymore. Any rational human being will want to be involved in decision making about their own life. So this thought process of that I want a submissive woman, you know, she just, you know, I really don't understand a ton of men. Because just because a woman is not submissive does not mean she's argumentative or a fighter all the time. But so many men think that, like, can I not just want to have a partner who I can sit down with and we have a conversation and we decide things together? Is that too much to ask for? I guess it is. But ladies, those are the things that I think you should really watch out for. So if you are going down the path of marriage, tafadhali, communication, you need to find a man who can communicate with you, a man who can collaborate with you, a man who can take accountability when he's wrong, and also us as ladies need to take accountability when we are wrong, and a man who respects you as an equal partner in that home. A man who understands, yes, I'm a woman, but yes, we are different genders, but we have our roles to play, but that doesn't mean that your contribution is more important than my contribution. You know, I think we should understand that as much as they are gender roles and as much as women and men are different, we contribute equally to the home. That is the issue. So I think that's it for the video. Thank you for watching, and I hope if you're a lady, I helped you out, and if you're a man, I hope I also helped you out, because what is this I'm seeing in the comments? But Anyways, thanks for watching. I'm at cozyreads.ke on all platforms. So if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Banner. However long this video has been, if you've watched until the end, now just subscribe. Like surely, that's outrageous, don't you think? Anyways, thank you so much.